So 5 reasons you should buy an S550 Mustang. So I have a 2019 Mustang right now, Mustang GT, Performance Pack 1 to be precise. Without all the nonsense to get into, it's pretty much just upgraded brakes and I believe upgraded wheels from what I've got in my car. I did buy this car secondhand, so I'm not the first owner, I'm the second owner, so not too bad. But anyways, number one, it is cheap and reliable. So I'd say for around 20 to 30k, unless you decide to get like a rebuilt title or salvage title, probably get it cheaper. But if you go to like CarMax or something, you could probably find one for like 20 to 30k, even private seller. 20 to 30k is like a sweet spot right now for an S550 Mustang GT 50. But pretty much that's pretty cheap in my opinion if you compare it to like anything else on the market. Pretty much whether it's like a Scat Pack in comparison or like a Camaro SS, those are a little slightly on the pricier side, and they're not as reliable in my opinion in terms of making easy and cheap power. Those cars usually gotta open up the engine and do some building a little bit if you want to go and add some boost pretty much. But anyways, you could really, the 5.0 engine is arguably these days top dog in terms of the V8s. You really can't go wrong with these, especially when you see what the trucks are doing right now. It's crazy. But really, I'd say if you really want to play it safe, if you put in $10,000 in this car, you can easily make up to like 800 horsepower, which is nuts. And that's without really touching the engine, besides doing oil pump gears and crank sprocket. Besides doing that, you can't go wrong with this. Like 10k in and you're making at least 800 to the wheels, which that's crazy to me. But without this, other than this, it's pretty much just the transmission. So I have if you get a 2018 plus, you'll be stuck with the 10R80. Don't go for the manual in these. They're terrible. The MT82 is terrible. But the 10R80 is pretty good, especially if you're planning on road racing, and it sounds pretty nice as a daily driver, and it comes with its little quirks here and there, but you'll learn them as you begin to drive the car. But if your goal is to really roll race and just have a pretty decent fun daily driver, I'd say go with the 10R80. Now if your goal is to like do some dig racing and just have an overall I guess more reliable, fun, cheaper car, essentially, I'd go with the 6R80 and the 2015 to 17 S550 Mustang. And that's especially if you want to hit over like 1,000 horsepower or 1,000 horsepower, because the unfortunate thing about these 10R80s, which is the trans that I have, you can't really make more than 800 without doing some building or getting a built trans, and that's a whole nother, like, I'd say easy up to like 10k, because you're obviously, most people aren't going to install it themselves. But the thing about the 10k that I was saying is you can really do that yourself. So all that stuff besides the oil pump gears, unless you're willing to do that, you can really do that yourself. So as long as you get something like a centrifugal or even like a Whipple, like they're not the hardest thing to understand and to get on your car. The main thing is that you get a good tune for it. So I always recommend people like Wingard or Lund. Really those, I'm not really big into the tuning world. I just know of those and I know they're pretty good. So anyways, at number 2, it is looks. So I'd say arguably the Mustang is, in terms of in the V8 world, is I'd say top 3 best looking in my opinion. And if you take a look at mine, like I love the way mine looks, and not to take away out of of other people's Mustangs or anything, but I love the way mine look, and you know, I love it, and hopefully you guys do as well. I've put in obviously a lot in the exterior, and all I really have left is to you know, finish boosting and everything. So I'd say looks, it's self-explanatory. Like you can't go wrong with these cars. They look amazing, even out of the box, like out the dealership. And next up is number 3, which is sound. So you tell me what you think. Let's get this cold start. I think the Coyote is the 5.0 engine, specifically in the Mustang and the S550, and really just in the Mustang in general. The 5.0 engine sounds amazing. Like, you know, in the trucks it sounds a little different. I'm not sure why. I think it's something to do with like something like some internals in there that are slightly different or something, that it makes it sound a little more deeper tone. But if you've ever heard like a nice exhaust put on like a S550 Mustang, it sounds amazing. It's that nice high pitch at those high revs. It sounds amazing. But other than this, at number 4, it is, as I said, those transmissions. So the 6R80 in the 2015 and 17, amazing. You can easily hold up at least minimum 1,000 easily, comfortably. You won't have to worry about much. I think you do have to like stud the transmission or something like that. And the 10R80 is where things get a little dicey, and you know, you might want to play it safe and stay at 800 or less, because if you try to go a little bit above that, you'll have to do some building or rebuilding. You need to get a whole new built 10R80 in there, or get a whole trans in general. But I think for most people you don't really need more than like 800, so that's really sufficient. And these ship so quickly, which is why they're perfect for road racing. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Always think about what your goal is with your car, and you know, go from there. So mine is a daily driver, road racer. So I love this transmission. I've been doing the maintenance, everything, you know, and it's been doing good for me. But anyways, lastly is the customization. So as I've shown in the video, you guys will see a bunch of customization that I've done to my car, from the front end to the hood to the trunk to the wheels to the tires to the exhaust to the, you know, tail lights. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but there's other stuff as well, like the side skirts. You know, there's carbon little, what are those, quarter panel little things you could put on your car. I don't really think I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure yet, but you know, there's different forms of splitters. There's actually even body kits for these cars, but I don't think I'll go that far, even though I do like the RTR ones. But that's really it on that. I think oh, I forgot to mention the maintenance part of these cars. So it's really important to stay up on maintenance on any car, obviously. But if you really love your car, and if you really want your S550 to last long, you need to be doing those oil changes pretty consistently, especially if you're gonna fucking bang on that limiter. Obviously not everyone is redlining like that, but if you're gonna be driving it pretty, you know, spiritedly, then you need to do that maintenance, those oil changes more often, you know. I typically do mine at like around 8 to 10K, because I drive it pretty hard, and I drive it almost every day these days. I'd say like 50 miles plus, I'd say, a day. So yeah, the oil changes are really important. And also, while you're at it, every time you get an oil change, might as well, you know, maybe if you need it, you could check your fluid, your trans fluid. That's really important. Something I did recently was I changed the oil pan, the trans pan. I got a aluminum one, so it's a lot more durable, you know, deflects rocks and whatnot, and just, you know, it's a nice little safety feature, just in case, you know, just cause. And it also makes doing the changes a lot easier, so that's a good thing as well, right? But anyways, I'll leave off with this. Some supporting mods that I always recommend if you end up buying one of these is, you know, number one thing I learned is that you don't really need a you don't really need to switch out your cold air intake really until you really boost it. Like the stock one is pretty good in my opinion. I didn't really know that in the moment, so I ended up buying a JLT cold air intake. I'll probably throw a picture up. But other than that, I'd say the number one thing you should always get is have some coolant there on, like have it if you live somewhere hot, don't leave it in your car, but like always have some coolant in your house or something just available, and always check those levels, making sure they're good, you know. Don't want to overheat your car. But another slept on thing is a nice little oil catch can that, you know, connects to your engine and catches that excess oil, that dark black oil that, especially if you're beating on your car, you know, that shit's gonna fill up, you know, over time slowly. But to be fair, you know, mine really takes a while to like even get halfway. It takes like I'd say like 4 months to get maybe halfway. So that just goes to show, like, these engines, you know, they not only take a beating, but you know they're good to you, I guess. But anyways, that's really it. I think I probably have forgotten a few things, but this is my first car video, so if you guys are looking for more, maybe a deeper dive review in my car, maybe a ride along or an exhaust video or something, you guys let me know. I don't mind giving you guys the ins and outs of this car that I've done. I'll tell you exactly what brands of stuff I've put on. I don't really care. Anyways, that's really it. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and see ya.